So just to kick off, SeeTree is a company that is operating in the ag tech space. I'll let Guy run us through a brief introduction of what you're doing and what brought you to found SeeTree and what you saw as the market need.
So we at SeeTree, we track the health of and the fruit production of every single tree in a mega farms. Mega farms is 100,000 trees and above. We use that information to provide intelligence to growers to make day-to-day decisions and also strategic decisions to anything that relates to agronomy, whether it's irrigation decisions, fertilization, thinning, pruning, whatever you can think of is the day-to-day decision. Our customers, if you think about the grower, he wakes up in the morning, he has, let's say, a few acres, he goes out, he knows every single tree, basically knows completely the farm and know what needs to be done. But the problem starts when you have 100,000 trees, million trees, 20 million trees, it becomes almost impossible to know what is going on and to make the right decision. And then this is where we come into play, and we help them to make get back the intimacy into the farm and make the right decision. The reason we got into farming is because it's a fascinating area. It's quite slow and fast and biological at the same time. A lot of challenges as far as getting the data, analyzing it, and creating insights. And we felt as a core team that we have the skill set to combine our knowledge, our understanding of technology, and how to collect data in order to bring value into this market. And we found the right opportunity, and we went in. Yeah.
Well, agriculture and farmers generally, you would imagine they would probably some of the most traditional businesses. So I wonder how you see them implementing and embracing new technology, and do you find it as a challenge? And if so, is it actually a barrier to entry once you manage to win them over?
So I've been to a conference in the Golan Heights a couple of weeks ago about innovation, and everyone went up to the stage and told the growers that they need to innovate and explain to them how to innovate. And actually, growers are innovating all the time. If you meet growers anywhere in the world, in Israel and also abroad, you see that they have multiple experiments. They try new techniques all the time. The main problems that they have is their margins doesn't allow them to move quickly enough, and this is where we help. But they are very forward-thinking as far as using new techniques that bring value. The key is to show them the value, and once you do that, you can go in and scale. So, yeah. So
total, I'm not sure everybody knows this, but total investment in agri-tech has been was over $10 billion in 2017 worldwide. It's probably more in 2018. But most startups seem to focus on row crops, whereas you focus mostly on permanent crops, meaning orchards. So why did you choose to focus on orchards, and what is the specific domain expertise that is required to handle these crops, as it seems to be much less of a crowded area, much less of a crowded innovation space?
Yeah. So one is the reason is because it's a green field, and a significant green field, and we decided to go into there. A tree is an entity that lives for 20 years and producing for 20 years. It's high value, and therefore there is an incentive to digitize this entity and to track it and to optimize every entity. You don't have it in row crop. Row crop usually you see it every year annually, and it changes. But with trees, it's more valuable. And also it's difficult. So you have to bring multiple capabilities in order to solve the issues there, and we felt that we have an advantage. And the last reason is because we met with a large group of researchers from Vukal Institute, and we asked them what is the most urgent issue in agriculture today. It was 2 years ago, and they said HLB, greening, one of the most prominent diseases in agriculture, which happens in citrus. And this is what drives our company at the moment. And
this is literally an epidemic.
This is like the cancer or for trees. And it really opens the door and open up the opportunity it's an excellent go-to market. So this is why we start with trees, yeah. We maybe go to row crops in the far future, but for now, trees is the main market. Yeah.
So you started not very long ago, but you already have paying customers in California and in Brazil and now in Indonesia. So moving really fast. How do you see your next phase of growth, and what is the infrastructure that you would need to implement for you to scale the business and really expand?
Yes, so there are a few aspects to it. First, what's special about what we do is that we have boots on the ground. We actually do the entire workflow for the grower. We collect the data, we analyze it, and we provide the tools to make the decisions. So it requires some boots on the ground. And so first thing is to be able to scale the day-to-day operation. The second thing is to find the applications based on the data and to be very accurate about that. I think almost no company managed in agriculture to do that till today, and that's the main challenge for every player in the market, to not just provide the raw data on the insight, but also to tie it into a specific application. So this is where we are right now. We basically convert the knowledge into application, and once we set it up, it basically can scale easily. So
if I understand correctly, first, you would want to scale geographically, and then second, into new types of crops.
Yes, we're already working with few crops. We do citrus, we do palm oil, almonds. We are starting avocado now, so it's growing also with that. And geography, you must expand geography because what happened in the northern hemisphere is not happening in the southern hemisphere, and you need to divert your efforts between those two. So we do also different geographies. Yeah.
Okay, and you mentioned that you need feet on the ground.
Yes.
And so my question is, and I think it ties to what we discussed earlier in the conference, about AI. So you're using AI and machine vision and different types of technology to better or help farmers better manage their activity. And my question is, well, twofold actually. On the one hand, you need feet on the ground, so I'm curious how that limits your scalability. And on the other hand, how you see implementation of AI and these various technologies affecting the day-to-day activity of these farmers, affecting jobs, affecting the life of the farmers.
Yes, so AI is a key component in our arsenal. We use it mainly to identify symptoms of diseases, and also some important features like the number of fruits on the tree and the size and everything. It's a key component. Without it, it's very hard to basically scale. So, and this is the main activity that we use AI. As far as boots on the ground, I think we brought the knowledge into the company how to operate efficiently with very small teams to cover large areas. I think using drones is a key factor which allows us to scale rapidly, and I don't think it's a, you know, we see today that a very small team, like 2 people team, can cover something like 20,000 acres a month easily, and this is a great business model for us. So it's not blocking us from moving forward. We recently started to train subcontractors to help us set up operations in the different areas, and also some partners to help us scale without us being in the field. Yeah.
Basically empowering the local farmers and the teams.
Yeah.
So you've recently enjoyed massive positive press coming out of stealth mode. Yeah. Why don't you share with us a little bit of what you've done so far, what you've been able to achieve, and how you see your growth in the next 12 months?
Okay, so first we are very young. We started at the end of 2017. Since then, we basically set up something like 7 paying customers in Central Valley, California, among them tier 1 customers. We started to work in Brazil 6 months ago, also with tier 1 customers. We moved to Indonesia with tier 1 customer, which has something like 150,000 hectares of palm oil. And we started now in Chile. So we try to, after we managed to put our market in California, we try to go to other markets and to be able to also deliver there. In the next 12 months, I hope that we can get the X millions that we need in order to prove the business and to go to the growth mode. So this is kind of the goal that we have right now.
Maybe I'll zoom out for a second,
Okay.
and I'll ask a more general question. How do you see, as an entrepreneur, tech entrepreneur in such a traditional industry, how do you see this industry being changed, or the food industry being changed in light of new technologies coming in?
Yeah, so I think it's kind of similar to healthcare services in a sense. You'll see some of the trends there happening also in farming. For example, I think that remote consulting or remote specialist is going to be a really important trend, like you see also in healthcare services. And the reason is because the ability to collect data and analyze it in a central place is becoming better and better. You also see a lot of progress in autonomous machinery in the fields, which is going to also play a role, I think, even faster than autonomous cars, because the technology case is simpler, and you see some activities there. You see some also Israeli companies are starting to pull the technology into that direction, and I think it basically all will converge into some sort of autonomous agronomy in the not so far future. Okay, so it's a couple of years.
One final question: where do you see SeeTree in the next 2, 3, and 5 years, and what are your biggest challenges?
So we hope that SeeTree will become the standard of operation for anything that relates to decision making in agronomy, to be the engine for the autonomous agronomy. We are not into vehicles or we are not into machinery, but we do have the way to help making the decision on the tree level. So in the future, when a car and an autonomous sprayer will go through the field, it will basically use SeeTree data in order to make the decision on the spot. We hope to partner and cooperate with big players in the industry, the Bayers of the world, and the players in agronomy in general. We hope to get some big growers. If this will happen in the next 12 to 24 months, we'll be very happy.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Questions? Thank you.
Well, I happen to be a physician, and I'll have to disclose I'm also a shareholder. And I also love oranges, citrus. Now, what happens once you diagnose the disease? What happens next on the tree? Is the tree destroyed, or is there a treatment?
So it depends on the disease, but in the case of HLB, there are two cases. In most cases, the farmer will take out the tree. So the main application here is to find the diseased tree. Today, the way that they find the tree is by scouting, do ground scouting. It takes a lot of time, something like they see every tree once every 3 months, and this might be too late. With our technology, it can happen in weeks, and the accuracy is higher. So the main thing is to provide where is the tree, and then they take it out. So this is one application. The second option is some farmers try to squeeze the lemon. They try to put more fertilizers into that tree and lengthen the time of the tree to make the most out of it, especially with farmers that grow citrus for juice. And then you want to give them the severity. So how, if the tree can still produce, if it still produces, they just put more microelements, fertilization, and they keep on. So this is what you do. So it really depends on the disease. Some disease you take out, and some disease you just put more fertilization.
But you said it's like a cancer, so if you remove one tree, you protect the trees around? Or
Absolutely.
it's like a virus.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, some diseases are carried by what is called a vector. It's some sort of an insect that take the bacteria and move it to the next tree and the next tree. So by taking out the tree, you basically protect the rest of the trees around it.
You hope. So what do you see as an exit strategy? Bear?
I'm not sure. I hope so. But there are other big players that are looking. I think that one of the most interesting thing here is that the big companies, the traditional big companies in this area are not that digital, and they are looking to get into that. And they are looking to acquire the digital force, okay, that has the AI, that has the data collection capability, that has that technology in order to be able to leverage their business. So it's those kinds of companies.
And what milestone revenues or number of clients or whatever other trigger would be necessary for Monsanto or another large company to take
I don't
over?
think I have that. I don't think I have an answer for that. But I can tell you that we are still a young company, but we already have interest from players to do some POCs in order to vet our technology, and I think it will get more and more attention in the next year or so.
How long do you expect to lose money before you break even? 5 years?
I think that we have another round B coming in a year and a half. And I hope that 2 years or 1 year and a half after that, we can start to make money.
And what do you expect as revenues within 5 years?
Again?
What expected revenues do you hope to have in 5 years?
I need to extrapolate now. So I think we can be a company of $100 million revenues. I think we can get there. The reason I think we can get there is because we are focusing on big players. So, for example, the player in Indonesia is a player of more than $10 million revenues a year. So I think if we manage to get few of those, we can get to those numbers. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah?
One more question at the back.
Dealing with have application in either vineyards or in marijuana growth?
We are focusing mainly on trees right now. We are trying to be still focused on citrus and avocado and things like that, but our technology can be applied to other kind of crops. I must say that it's very different to track marijuana versus citrus. Okay, so it will be a huge conversion as opposed to moving from citrus to avocado to mango to things like that.
Another question here.
Please elaborate. Hi. May you please elaborate how your solution is helping to fight the red palm weevils in palm trees? And if it's an early detection way of solution?
Again, can you repeat the...
Yes, so I would like to know if your solution is providing early stage detection of the red palm weevil.
Okay, so we didn't get to disease yet with palm. Okay, we are just, I would say in the last 3 months, started to do the operation in Indonesia. Okay, so it's very early stage. The first thing that we do, and this is something that I can share because we already talked about in different conferences, is to basically create a health protocol for the grove, and it's very simple. I can teach you the protocol right now. It's we give every tree score from 0 to 5. 5 is very strong. 4 is with a bit of a headache. Is going to move in the spring. 3 and 2 is sick and very sick. 1 is dying, and 0 there is no tree. So you need to do a replant, and when we do that, and we do that accurately, it basically brings up the weak areas, the disease, all the things that you want to look for, and then you can go check and see what is the problem. Specifically for a disease like what you mentioned, we didn't start with it yet. We are focusing on HLB, but the concept is the same. Once you know how the symptom look visually, you basically train the machine. We see every tree. and we extract a lot of data from every tree, and then we train the machine, and we pinpoint for the farmer where the tree is, and he can go check with a mobile device or other GPS-based device.
Maybe a final question by me. What gets you most excited about what you're doing and going to work in the morning?
I think it's a very diverse culture and the technology and the people. It's a combination of people with boots on the ground, agronomists, people that know technology, people from intelligence, know how to build a campaign to collect data. The AI, so it's just the combination is so unique in agriculture, and it's not just typical for us. Other companies in agriculture are also enjoying the same, but it's very different. It's not one dimension. Okay, it's a lot of dimensions to what we do. So this is what excites me. Get up in the morning and invent something new every day, basically.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.